Hello everyone, welcome back to episode of Iron Class. I was supposed to start this episode on the screen before we got into the episode, but I got a little too rushed. So now we are here in the episode. I know, mind blown. I'm amazing at this. We start off the show, segment of 47. In a poor match, Brian Pillman Jr. defeats Fred Rosser in 13:47 by pinfall with a tornado DDT, building up the prestige of Brian Pillman Jr. while saying soz to Darren Young. Pillman with a 50, Fred Rosser with a 37. Of course, 30 blondes make a good pairing, and that's always a good thing to see. And then this is just here so I can show you what that's like. Whoa. Great selling, great charisma, great star quality. Okay then, love it. Here we go into segment of 41. And the crew will make sure Bryan Danielson does not make it to next week. The main event will be a 2-on-1 handicap with Destruction Crew, Fatu and Bar versus Bryan Danielson 2v1. Can Danielson try to pull out the victory? Will he succumb to the wrecking of the Wrecking Crew? No, their name's Destruction Crew and they wreck people. It's just like a promo, get them on the show, especially Jeff Cobb, and then, basically saying how it's basically just a way to announce, oh yes, handicap match, woo! Segment of 52, that's pretty good. Jonathan Gresham with a 65. That's better than last week. Last episode he got a 63. Holy shit on a shingle. In a decent match, Jonathan Gresham defeats Willie Mack in 15:48 by submission with an octopus stretch, making defense number 3 of its international title after last episode of ICW Toxic, starting an open challenge. And now he has gotten a 65. Holy shit. Willie Mack with a 44. Gresham is just popping off and I'm really happy by this. Well done, boy. Pat. That was my passing. But still, he's doing really good. Segment of 42, Elijah Burke is starting the commercial break. Elijah Burke's talking to his client Chris Bay, who was on the pre-show because he can't really film the main show. And Strickland, he finds up to these two, and he's on his way to his match, so he's pretty quick with this, and he just gives them to passing remark that, he believes that both of them are wasting themselves, being complacent in the pre-show category. And Chris Bay, that he can do so much better than pre-show fodder. And that's for Elijah Burke. You're nothing more than a fucking comic commentator. You should just stay in your lane. Segment of 50 now, okay. For segment 15, a poor match, Shane Strickland defeats Myron Reed in 14:49 by pinfall with a swerve drop. Myron Reed with a 40, Shane Strickland with a 56. Myron Reed herself his hot new move. It's been happening for weeks now, so it's not really hot anymore and it was inconsistent. Shane Strickland's continuing to prove himself. He doesn't need to, he can just take the opportunity whenever he wants. But you want to show how you can earn it instead of just given it. You're just taking it. It's not as noteworthy as, earning it. So made of 51, that's pretty good for a match including Von Alex currently. In a poor match, Full Throttle drew with the Von Alex in 13:45 following a doubles qualification. As Jacob Fatu and Fowler Bar attacked the two legal men, Ross Von Erck and Alex Shelley. Joe Miguel with 51, Alex Shelley with 53, Marshall and Alec with a 44, and Ross Von Erck with a 37. Basically, as Destruction Crew, I thought focusing on Bryan Danielson currently in regards to helping Jeff Cobb win the world title. They still have to remind the Von Erichs it's their first week back to get attacked. You always have to remind Von Erichs that they're getting the title shot next, and they're taking the titles, and they're going to take them all the way to heaven. baby. Yeah, for now, I'd say. Then we have the face-to-face between Samoa Joe and EC3, so minutes 55. There's a wall of security in between EC3 and Samoa Joe, mainly so Samoa Joe doesn't go after EC3, because you don't need a long line of security for EC3. No offense to him, but they're there to stop Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe is still pissed, and pissed people love to attack kids, because hell yes, that's how the money crumbles. It's basically just a war of words. Eventually, Samoa Joe gets annoyed and and does the opposite of his job as the enforcer of ICW, and he just attacks the wall of security. He just rams into them, just pushes them all aside. Some of them drop to the floor and get bounced to the outside. And now it's an open field. Samoa Joe in the middle of the ring. EC3 in the corner. He tries to quickly make a mad dash out. Samoa Joe catches him. Tries to lock in the Kikina clutch. When EC3 hoofs him right in the plums. And Joe just crumbles instantly. EC3 reveals that his boot is made out of metal. Right in the hoofers, and used it and is made out of metal. To tame the wild beast. Basically, EC3 one-upping Samoa Joe due to Samoa Joe's anger, and Samoa Joe will probably be even more pissed because he was just huffed and dick. But we'll find out more on that next week. Segment of 59. That was basically just a promo. Bryan Danielson, he's up for anything that's put in front of him. He'll fight the odds. He'll take them on. And, the normal. He said, underdog. I fail the odds because I do it for the people. Yes. You can't really do yeah. It's not. Can you do yeah? It's basic. It's just like you're just pointing in the air. You're just pointing in the air. It's like you're just shouting yeah. So technically, you should be allowed to do it. WWE cannot trademark the yes chant. Segment of 53 to end off the show. A decent match. The Destruction Crew defeated Bryan Danielson in a handicap match in Fast and 58, and Fatu pinned Danielson while using the ropes for leverage. In order to make Bryan not pissed that he lost, I made him look strong and I tainted the victory. But of course, it still shows the Destruction Crew as fucking mammoths that they beat him in less than 15 minutes. So Bryan Danielson with a 76, Jacob Fatu with a 44, and Fallah Bahh with a 29. Danielson lost, and oh shit, he is going to be in pain. I was going to make him do a stump up, but I wasn't allowed to, because, he's too old. He's 40, he's probably too old. So, what I'm instead doing, I'm going to make up a stunt bump that he quote-unquote did. AKA, he was going to go for a flying headbutt, something that he shouldn't do, but he wasn't going to do it, because it was just a setup for Fallah Bahh, for Jacob Fatu, who was on the apron at the time, shoving him off, and Bryan got sent over through the announce table. Oh shit. Show gets it gets a 53, not as good as the last two, but it's still okay. The next episode will be the fight of the month of September. It will include, of course, an episode of the Open Challenge and a big spectacle, Jeff Cobb versus Bryan Danielson for the ICW World Championship. Pretty entertaining. Big news here, just a quick little integrator between the two episodes of ICW Toxic. I'm fun like that. Kana, now previously known as Asuka, has left WWE. Which, of course, is a really dumb thing to do by WWE. And I really wished that I was good enough to book women, because I have women on my roster, and then I could have Kana. And that would be fucking sick. But sadly, I am bad at booking women, so I don't have women on my roster. And because of that now, Kano will probably go off to New Japan, or Stardom, or somewhere else. But who really knows for sure? We start off the show with a 58 in a decent match. Jonathan Gresham defeats Trey Miguel in 17:57 by pinfall with a German suplex hold. Defense number 4 of Gresham's International Championship. Trey Miguel with a 57. Jonathan Gresham with a 65. They're popping off, boys. And they have great chemistry. So if I want to do this later on as a feud, I can. And it should be good. And it makes me feel so much better about life. Which is good. And we're going to a 54 after the little thing last week. Shane Strickland is now fighting Chris Bay. Because Chris Bay didn't like the fact that he doesn't feel like he's been wasted. He's Chris Bay. I don't know anything else about him. I don't watch Impact that much. In a decent match, Shane Strickland defeat Chris Bay in 14:38 by pinfall with a suave stomp. Shane Strickland gets a 54, Chris Bay with a 50. So Shane Strickland said Chris Bay has been wasted. And Baby has proved it here tonight with a clear, decisive win over Chris Bay. Another one. Chris Bay has not had a great streak here in ICW. Celebrating a 41 post-match. Shane Strickland, after celebrating, he extends out his hand towards Chris Bay. He stares at it for a few seconds, looks away, towards the crowd, looks back, and grabs it. And then Shane Strickland lifts him up to his feet, and they shake hands. Both of them just staring intently into each other. I should have added Elijah Bark in this angle. And then Elijah Bark shouts in from commentator's booth. He gets over and says, "Hey, Bay, get the fuck out of here." He doesn't say that, of course. But, you know, like he doesn't want Chris Bay with Shane Strickland after what he said. Because then maybe Chris Bay will think maybe Elijah Bark isn't good enough for him. But he isn't. Yeah, Elijah Bark isn't good enough for Chris Bay. And Elijah Bark can't have that. So he's trying to get him away as fast as possible. And then after that, Chris Bay leaves. Same main of 49 of post-match promo. Sean Waltmichael's talking to Jonathan Gresham. And they both believe that Miguel has nothing to be ashamed about. He may have lost, but my God, did he try to go the distance? There was a moment where Gresham could have lost the title, but managed to kick out. And in a little bit more training, Miguel could be a bright main eventer. Fighting up there with Bryan Danielson. And yeah, good Rob is like, "Hey, I'm a part of DX, suck it, suck it, suck it, you're good." Dab. Boom. I don't know. He's just trying to hype up Miguel more. Because Miguel's doing good so far. I think Gresham's gone up from like maybe like an early 50s to mid 60s. How has that happened within like one show? I don't. It's a pop-off moment. Same lane of 45 now. About that didn't have much team terrible wrestling for the Destruction Crew. Defeated the Phonetics in 7 minutes 06 when Fallah Bar pinned Ross Phonetics with an avalanche splash. The tag champs constantly being put in situations when they don't come out looking good. And of course, after being attacked multiple times by the Destruction Crew, and now essentially basically on the verge of being squashed by the Destruction Crew. Jacob Fatu with a 47, Balabar for 35, Ross Phonetics for 44, and Ross Phonetics for 41. He actually got above 40. That's a rare thing for Ross, so well done for him. Yeah, I'll say well done to him. Same lane of 53. A decent match, EC3 in his first match back. His first match since losing to Bryan Danielson at Heatwave, yeah. He defeats Alex Shelley in 15-18 when Shelley was disqualified because Joe did the exact opposite of his job. He ran in and attacked EC3. He was hired by Paul Heyman as an enforcer to stop this, and he's lasted a month, and he's already broken that rule that was made, and now is attacking EC3. EC3 for 56, Alex Shelley with a 44. Post-match, so lane at 53 still. Joe continuing to assault EC3 security, and referees trying to pull him off. He throws them away, and then he wrenches in like a cleaner clutch, drops back instantly, and just holds it in as tight as humanly possible until EC3 passes out. And when you can see he is fully out of it, Joe tightens more and more, physically trying to rip the heads off of the body of Ethan Carter III. He is holding it tighter and tighter. He is not letting go. All of the security referees are trying to just untangle Joe's hands so he'll let go. And eventually he does. But no thanks to everyone else trying to stop him. They are no match for Joe. Joe just lets go of himself, rolls the limp body off his, and then he leaves the ring. And he starts that angered look on his face. But it's more calmed now. He now realises that he's probably have to talk with Paul for, breaking the run point of the job. Main event of a 62, Jeff Cobb versus Bryan Danielson. In a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Bryan Danielson defeated Jeff Cobb in 2014 by submission with a label lock, making defense number 2 of the ICW World Championship. Jeff Cobb with a 52, well done to him, and Bryan Danielson with a 76. But he was inconsistent. Okay, and then Jeff Cobb was stamina prone. But the main important thing is post-match. Post-match is fucking insane. So Reign of 57. Bryan celebrating with his title, and then some music hits. Of course, you haven't heard music before. It's a new debut. But who could it be? Bryan is kind of perplexed why someone would come out in his celebration at the end of the show. The name Silva appears on the screen. S-I-L-V-A. Bryan is still more perplexed, has no idea whose person is, when Buddy Murphy, now known as Silva, comes on to the ramp and just stares down Bryan Danielson. Yes, we have Buddy Pissin Murphy. No one tried to sign him when his no compete clause was up, so I did. And now we have Buddy Murphy. But I'll be fully honest, Matt Silva, well, of course his actual name is Matt Silva. Silva, he cost 17k. That big expense, but at the same time, it's Buddy Pissin Murphy, and it's Buddy Pissin Murphy. So I kinda had it. To be fully honest, I signed him on the day. Of course, he was unemployed, so he was able to join immediately. He signed on the day. Holy shit. Yeah, this is just Buddy Murphy! And then this is post-show. It's like a little exclusive, so it doesn't matter. It's a little exclusive. Jeff Cobb is dishevelled, he's walking out. Of course angered, still dishevelled. Walks out like the Destruction Crew. And as they're leaving the arena, you can see Fowler Bar and Jacob Fatu leaving with the Von Erichs tag team titles. AKA, they robbed the Von Erichs. Of course, that'll be something more to care about next week. A 58, our best ever edition of ICW Toxic. Thank you, Silva. Yeah, goddess. You're for the goddess, you're a god. Boom. And boop-a-doop. Yeah, I lost poop and then increased 5-5. So, we're still doing pretty good, and I'm still pretty happy about it.